Right now, it is time for one of our favorite segments here on Fantasy League One called You Heard Me! We're going to talk about some of the predictions that we got right, and there were a lot of them, and it took a while to narrow these down to 4. But Marcus, why don't you lead us off?
Christian Kirk. You heard me. I told you to start Christian Kirk this week, and he went off. 3 touchdowns. Look, he made up for lost time. He didn't have a touchdown all season long. He caught 3 of them this week against the Bucs. I don't care if the Bucs are bad. So what? Everybody's like, oh, it's the Buccaneers. So what? How many other players have caught 3 touchdowns in a game against the Buccaneers? Christian Kirk did it.
Yeah, he did.
You heard me. I told you to start him.
You've been shouting for Christian Kirk from the rooftops since before the season even started. Right. You've been on the Christian Kirk hype train. But why don't we move over to camera 3, because I got one of my own. There we go. Aaron Rodgers. You heard me. I told you on Sunday morning to do the right thing and give the football to Aaron Jones, and that's exactly what you did. Listen, Aaron. No, not Jones. We're cool. Aaron Rodgers. We might not ever be friends. We might not ever hang out. Nick Swartzen wants it to happen really bad, but I don't know that it ever is. But here's my thing. You handed the ball off. I know. Listen, you know what's funny?
Do you know him?
Jay Moore once told me, stop name dropping. Oh. It's unbecoming.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure, but you know what? I love what we saw out of Aaron Jones. Who are we going to next? I put my cards in this thing.
Ricky.
No. The card says Graham.
You always skip me anyway, so it's fine.
That's true.
We'll just roll with it. Just skip me, go to Ricky, it's fine.
Okay, Ricky, why don't you go next?
Golden Tate. You heard me. Thank you. See, that's nice. I'm in a fall sweater and I just want to snuggle up Golden and say, great job. He got multiple touchdowns. He's been, I got a lot of grief for picking him up because there was such a long season. But you know what? I've been pounding the table for him, and you heard me. He went off. Evan Ingram is still not healthy. Sterling Shepard's suffering injuries. It's only going to get better for the Tatester.
You had the foresight to stash him for so long. Well done.
Yeah, you've been stashing players that are now starting to come alive for your fantasy team. By the way, in the interest of full disclosure, an apology to our CP, Justin Harvey. The card actually did say Ricky.
Oh.
That was my fault. Graham, why don't you save me here?
Yeah, I will. Michael Gallup. You heard me. He had a great game last night. Exactly what we expected. 4 catches, 86 yards, and a score.
That was scary.
Yeah, not really. I'm not a scary guy. It's okay. But Michael Gallup, he keeps balling out. Last night against the Vikings, he showed again why he's a great second fiddle to Amari Cooper. And I think, again, we saw, a little bit we talked about on the Sunday show, the Vikings defense is not one we should be afraid of at this point. These cornerbacks are really, really struggling, and Gallup exposed them last night.
Yeah, you should be able to throw the ball against that defense, and do not be afraid to start them. So big thanks to everybody who is texting us, tweeting us, telling us that you wanted that segment back. We've been waiting to bring it back.
It was kind of annoying.
Thank you, everyone.
But you know what? They actually, you know what? And if You Heard Me wasn't their favorite segment, it's got to be our next segment, which is Shoulda Better, Known Better. Some advice that we might not have gotten correct. Marcus, lead us off.
What?
David Montgomery. Look, I should have better known better, right? Everybody was on David Montgomery this week. Oh, the Lions, they can't stop the run. David Montgomery's getting all these touches. Mitch Trubisky stinks. It wasn't even a lack of touches for David Montgomery. He had 17 carries, which is even more than Saquon Barkley and his 1 yard had this week. But he only had 60 yards, didn't get in the end zone. Wasn't great. Probably should have better known better.
Possibly. What about you, Ricky?
Well, I should have had been known better that David Johnson. I should have had because what did he get? Big fat 0. And I was like, ooh, well, with Kenyon Drake and this Cardinals offense, maybe he's coming back. I know he's at that injury, but he's gonna still be catching passes and everything. Yeah, well, he showed me.
He showed you. He's showing everybody.
I
He's showing everybody.
Had been there.
I wanted to think that those highlights were in slow motion, but he really just.
That's how slow I was. What happened?
Yeah.
When did you? He's like Benjamin Button all of a sudden. What happened to you?
I miss the healthy David Johnson.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's going to be one we're going to think about. Yeah. What about you, Graham?
Groom?
I am Groot.
Here
Listen,
comes
whatever.
I'm
Groot.
Yeah, whatever. Look, I should have
nickname.
known better. I should have started O.J.
That's not the
Howard.
segment. Say it the right way.
it's my
Should have
segment.
Should have known better.
Okay, I should have still known better.
Would
to
you
start
stop?
O.J. Howard over Mike Gesicki this week. I started Gesicki over Howard off the waiver wire. George Kittle is missing the game tonight, and O.J. Howard did what every single tight end has done against the Cardinals this year, and he had a great game. Granted,
Right.
O.J. Howard has basically been kind of a ghost in this offense, but I think the Cardinals at this point they've basically kind of brought back to life every single tight end.
Why are you giggling?
It was a whole highlight reel of O.J. Howard
Yeah,
playing
drop-
patty
what is-
cake.
drop-
Playing
Why
patty
is it
cake
so
with a
good?
football.
O.J. Howard scored.
He's like playing hot
You
potato
showed
with a
him.
football.
He looked like
Okay.
He looked like St. John Smith playing volleyball out there. What is going on?
I
And by
get
the
that
way,
reference.
say the name of the segment correctly.
Shoulda better known better.
Jeez Louise.
No,
man.
should have better.
You're like the guy
Shoulda-
who's like,
shoulda
I got my
better
Costco
known
receipt.
better.
You didn't charge me for these grapes. Like, whatever. You got free grapes. Get out of here. All right. Now, I
you
should have
check all
better
the
known
receipts?
better than to start Cooper Kupp. I don't know. This is a tough one. This couldn't have been my fault because I think that the one thing, thank you, it was
Oh,
tough.
there's no hair to
There's too much makeup. The one thing that's we should have seen coming with Cooper Kupp was without Brandon Cooks, there was a chance that he was going to get shut down a little bit. He is able to take the top off of defense, which is allowing Cooper Kupp to run untested over the middle. But you saw what the Pittsburgh Steelers did. They made sure to double cover him, which is why guys like Gerald Everett, guys like Robert Woods, and even Josh Reynolds were getting all sorts of targets. Cooper Kupp finished with 4 targets. They got the Chicago Bears this week, a team that has not been friendly to opposing receivers, but we saw Kenny Golladay get loose, so perhaps this will be an opportunity for Cooper Kupp to get right this week, but hopefully still lose the game.
Yeah,
a lot
the
of
broadcast.
marketing research into this and a lot of marketing research into this Press Your Luck segment. Brown edition. Let's start with John Brown.
Can we?
What?
Okay.
No, what's wrong?
Well, like what? What do you mean Brown
Should
edition?
you
Well,
This
just follow along.
Yeah, you'll see.
follow along?
see.
There'll be a theme.
This is what happens when you don't come to production meetings.
I was there for this,
She was there and still
but
didn't
I was
pay attention.
also, yeah, I like.
What about John
had a
Brown?
lot to
though?
do
Are
with
we pressing our luck, or is he going to be a whammy?
Continue to press your luck,
I
right?
think we pressure luck with
Yeah.
John Brown.
Such
yeah.
a whammy.
They're playing the Dolphins next week.
You don't like
True.
him?
No, I do.
Then why is he? No, whammies are bad. Pressing your luck is good.
How many times
it.
do we have to go over this here?
How many times do you have to lose at fantasy for me to trust you, Graham?
It's going
That's
to
a
be
good
quite a
point.
few more times.
But John Brown, though,
John Brown is a pressure luck.
Yeah.
They're playing the Dolphins. Yeah, why not?
Dolphins next week. He's at 50 or more yards.
Yeah,
in
but the
every
Dolphins
game
are
this
going to
year.
the Super Bowl now. I don't know.
I know.
I mean,
they-
sure, they can buy a ticket like the rest of us.
they've
Yeah,
really.
they will be in Miami.
It is in Miami. I see what you did there. That's
yeah.
pretty good. What about? There was another Brown, AJ Brown of
Okay.
the Tennessee Titans. What are we doing here? Are we going to press our luck with him now
Right.
that Ryan Tannehill's the quarterback? Are we pressing the luck, or is he a whammy?
I think he's a whammy.
Erica, say it.
I think he's bad.
So he's a
Oh,
whammy.
come on.
So
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 he's
he's
a
a-
whammy.
So he's not a whammy.
No,
because,
no.
no. Like,
Whammies are bad.
you know when you like look down and you see Yahtzee and you jump up because you're excited? That's a
Right.
whammy.
That's a completely
That's a
completely
totally
different
game.
game.
Different
Not
game.
even the same thing.
Oh.
Not even the same thing.
I don't know. I think he's bad.
I think part of it is just that the Titans don't have a lot of passing volume there. I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill had a $181 last week on Sunday, and you see that AJ Brown had 17 receiving yards. It's just there's just not enough there for me to get excited about it. So that's a whammy for me.
Yeah, and they keep spreading out their targets. They throw it to Jonnu Smith. They'll throw it to Adam Humphries a little bit too.
Throw it to somebody named Anthony Ferkser.
It was a rule this week that if you went to Harvard, you were going to have to get into the end zone.
Except
Not
for
you,
But what if
Cameron
you don't
Brake.
have
Yeah.
any other options? What if you only have AJ Brown? Is there anything to look forward to? I mean, I think he might do more than 2 fantasy points next week. I mean, with Tannehill, it is a great addition.
With Corey Davis battling an injury, there is a possibility that he could have some production
Well, he won't next week because they're on a bye. So
in the future. There it is. All right. So we've had.
I'm just thinking, like, I'm listening
we've
to
had
you. You
John
have Lamar
Brown.
Jackson. That's great. But what about me? I don't have him. Like,
That's true.
what if I'm stuck with Brown?
No, because he plays for the
he
Browns.
plays for the
Browns.
Browns.
Plays for the Browns.
You guys.
Got her. What do we do?
Third time.
I don't know.
Pressing your luck. What are we doing? Whammy?
I mean, at least the Browns finally targeted him, right? I mean, he got
They
12
did.
targets yesterday, and granted, not all of them were very efficient, and Baker and OBJ still haven't been able to get on the same page virtually all season long. But it was nice to see, Baker come out in the media this week and say, I want to force feed OBJ, and he did. It just didn't really net many great things in the box
Yeah,
score.
except that next week, they have a short week. They play on Thursday night. They play the same Steelers who held Cooper Kupp to 0.0 fantasy points. That seems like a whammy for me, Bob.
Yeah, I'm going to say, but it's one of those things that you almost.
It's like, can you put OBJ like on your bench? That's crazy.
Probably
I
can.
know.
How many receivers are you starting? Like, he's not fallen off the table as a wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
No, but you're just not excited about it.
But if you have two wide receivers, and if you had, I don't even know who you would have paired with OBJ, like Michael Thomas. Obviously, you have these must starts. But what about like DJ Moore? Would you start him over OBJ? DJ Moore's got a decent matchup this week.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gotten that bad for OBJ. I mean, even
DJ Moore had 21 points.
DJ Moore's been great, but I mean, at the same time, I'm with you. It's like, can you really not flex OBJ? He's probably not your second best receiver at this point, but he's probably still worth a flex spot.
Yeah, I think if you're in a 10-team league or anything, but as you get, when you're in bigger leagues like this one, 12 teams with a flex, I think you've got to start